Okay, I'm going to try and explain something that particularly Christians might encounter during prayer. A particular question that comes up sometimes is, God, are you there? It's a very regular, very legitimate question to ask in prayer if there is someone listening on the other side of your words that you say. And the short answer, if you like, is yes. But the long answer is a bit more worth unpacking to explain that. So there is a shift that takes place in prayer for many saints and people of faith over history have recorded or reported a shift in God as an object to be felt or worshipped or reverenced out there. There is a shift from that mode of perception of God to realizing that for the divine to be divine, it has to be beyond the subject-object split that human consciousness typically operates in. It's not to say that Christianity is forced into a monism that is not representative of what it actually is. But this shift that many saints have reported is a shift in perception from God out there to God as the substance, ground, and source of both consciousness and subjectivity. So what I'm saying is that the short answer is yes, God hears you, but it's not because you're saying sounds or even thinking thoughts that travel from your walkie-talkie to his walkie-talkie. There's a shift from this kind of communication to the sense that all perception and all communication take place within the same field of awareness and consciousness, which is inside of God already. Now, this is not necessarily to say that God and consciousness are the same thing, but I just want to invite the question of the perception that God is an object in the universe to be known rather than the space within which everything is known. And the Trinity explains or lays this out quite well, in which there is a formless source of everything, the Father, which loves the Son, the created order, the formed one, the incarnate one, and there is a space between the Father and Son, which is love, healing, relationship, joy, participation, which is the Holy Spirit. And they're all God, but they all defy that concrete objectivity that we prefer to see reality as. This tree over there, this house here, this chair I'm sitting on. this brain perceiving these thoughts. So to make the shift from God as an object to be known towards God being beyond subject-object in his own right, and God being in a category all by God's self, immediately collapses any sort of perceived distance that we might generate between ourselves and that in which we live and move and have our being, as the Book of Acts says. Meister Eckhart says it very well, that he says, the eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. And it's quite hard for me to explain accurately what's going on here, but there is a lot of evidence that those who continually practice some kind of prayer or meditation in the Western tradition come upon a mode of being or consciousness that is warm, receptive, inclusive, and personal, which makes a distinction from the Buddhist lineage, which would tend to suggest that awareness and consciousness is cool and impersonal. And the Western lineage tends to emphasize the warmth of consciousness. I think probably we can say that God is both personal and impersonal without cancellation. But of course this can't really be verified without experience. So, is God out there? Yes, but only in the sense that every location gives away this relationality and this longing to connect. I hope that made sense.